Welcome to another of our VA Worldwide walkthroughs of IBM i2's Analyst Notebook. And in this session, we're going to further look at our list items function. And in this case, we are going to look at how we can use analysis attributes to further do some analysis of the chart. So again, in this case, we're using a financial transactions chart. And as we showed earlier, we can click on list items. Brings up our list items dialog box, and again remember we have the two tabs, entities and links. So in this case I'm going to add some more columns to our list items, and again we have the options of general attributes and analysis attributes, and these are the columns that will appear in list items. But with analysis attributes we're able to take more information from the information that's provided in our chart. And we can add all these columns, and obviously some of them are relevant and some of them are not. In this case, I'm going to add in some information related to the transactions, to the accounts. And I'm looking at the ones that start with entity. Now the way it's worded can be a little bit confusing, but it's a bit of an I2ism. So for example, if we click entity sum links as a column, it will be basically the total value of links to an entity. So it's a bit the way worded around a different way. The reason it's done like this is so that the entity, anything relating to entities, are all listed alphabetically in the same order. So that's what you need to understand, is how the wording means. So for example, entity sum links to, which we'll select as well, is the total value of links to an entity. So you get the idea how these are worded. I'm going to select a number of these just to allow me to add some extra columns into list items. So once I've selected those, I click OK. And if we scroll across, we'll start to see those new columns have appeared at the end of our list items. Now again, because of the real estate that you've got on the screen, you may need to adapt and change some of these column headers, which you can do by sliding them across. The other thing is you can actually move these columns around. So for example, I may choose to take a count type by selecting the column header and just dragging it over to the side. So I can reorder a number of these in different ways just to make it a little bit easier to see what I'm doing. And that's a bit of practice if you want to have a look at doing that. So again, you may not always see the total of the full column header, so you just need to scroll across until you see it. It just depends how many columns you've chosen to show. So if I look at this column, entity sum links, this is the total value of links to an entity, and I want to see which has the most value of transactions to an entity, to an account in this case. So if I select and sort the column, and I'll do it in reverse order so that I have the highest at the top, I can see that by selecting this one and clicking OK, this will now show on the chart. Now depending how busy the chart is, in this case you can see it, but you can use that fit selection to window option as well. And this is telling me now this account has the most transaction values of any other account on my chart. So that's a useful way of seeing which is the busiest, or which is receiving the most money or involved with the most money, depending on the analysis you're trying to do. Going back to list items, the columns are still there. I'm going to scroll across. Now it will always remember which one you were last in, but remember this is where you may get caught out by being on the wrong column or the wrong tab. You need to be on the entities tab in this case. So depending on what you're trying to do, remember you've got two tabs, entities and links. So we could see which is the account which is the busiest. So in this case, we could say which account is receiving the most transactions. So entity links to. So this is how many links, the transactions are links, how many links are going to an entity. So by doing a quick sort, reverse sort, we can see we have 5 accounts receiving the most money, and in this case if we do links from, this is the accounts which are sending out the most transactions, the busiest sending out money. So in this case if I select this one, click OK, fit selection to window, In this case, it's exactly the same one. It's the same account we had before. So that's using analysis attributes for list items. And if you'd like some more information, get in touch with us here at VA Worldwide.